nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Yeah. Does somebody have their, Adrian, do you have your iPad on?
He's working on it.
All right, let's do the four-way test. The things we think, say, or do. Is it true? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Okay. We're winging it. Winging it. Well, we know what comes next. It's the guest. Adrian, don't sit down.
What the hell is going on here?
Good morning. Thanks for blowing in. We appreciate it. And if you are on Zoom, it's really helpful if you list your name as a participant instead of your phone number, because then I can include you. Thank you. And we're so excited today to have Scott Halliday be our speaker, so thank you. And Dan Hawk is here going to do fun things, I assume, with Tim Egan. I think he's up practicing. And Jenny Fulton is here. So thank you. Doing a little 5-minute pause. Thank you very much.
All right, welcome everyone. Really? Okay, so today is National Strawberry Day. Yes, and then it's also National Kahlua Day. So I thought maybe you could do Kahlua, whipped cream, and strawberries. So there's a little recipe for the day. And just when you see strawberries, it just makes you smile. Okay, Rotarians in the Wild, I want to thank everyone that helped out at the Seniors for Wellness luncheon. I know I didn't get everybody, all the pictures, but I heard we did have quite a showing and they do really appreciate the help. So we have Sign Up Genius, I think, for March and April still, and we can get that out. I don't know if it's full, I have to check, but thank you for doing that. Okay, just a few things today. There's a youth services meeting right after the meeting here. We have the Mount Evans Gala tonight at Mount Vernon. If anyone's going, it should be a fun time. International Women's Day is March 6th. The Lucky Luau is March 13th. If you don't know about it, again, you've been hiding under a rock because we are really advertising that, and it'll be a lot of fun. If you have not bought your tickets, please do so. And again, it's open to the public. St. Baldrick's Foundation fundraiser is at the Wild Game on March 17th from 4 to 6. I hope you guys can go. And Rotary Book Club, April 7th at Todd Bastian's house, although he's not hosting, Lynn is. And then deadline for Rotary Legacy Projects is April 15th. And then the Outdoor Lab After Dark fundraiser is May 2nd. And I put the link in there, but Jen will put it in the notes and a little bit more information about that. All right. Around the district, we're still having the ice melt contest. I think tickets are until March 15th. If they didn't, I haven't, Chris told me it was March 15th. So Foothills Home and Garden Show, April 11th and 12th. Area 8 Social is the 23rd. Again, that's celebrating Ryla, and they're still kind of getting the details on that, but we will have a sign up for that soon. And then the Center of Love Kenya trip, August 4th through the 11th. If you want to go, please see Patrice. And then the Tanzania trip is in February, so please see Kurt Harris. All right. We noticed in Club Runner that some people, we have a discrepancy between the number of members we have and the number of emails that are going out. So if you are not receiving emails and you would like to, if you go into your Club Runner account under privacy, please look and make sure that these things, the club emails are checked and anything else you would like to receive. Also, yeah, any of the announcements, anything from Rotary, but please go in there and check. Don't go in there and uncheck it. We're not asking people not to receive our emails. You guys need to receive the emails. So if you have any questions about it, let us know. You can always count on Jen or Katie sending out the notes from today, and you can always count on Jen sending out the speaker announcement on Monday or Tuesday. So if you're not getting those, then that means you're not getting our emails. So please check. Oh, and make sure you're getting the pictures from Carolyn. She always sends those out on Thursday. So if you're not receiving those, let her know and she will fix that. Thanks. Okay, we're ready for Tim. So as we said, the St. Baldrick's Foundation event is coming up March 17th at Wild Game, and Tim will be talking about it here for our Pause for the Cause. He and I have been talking, so we have he has quite a few people coming. Whoa, what's going on? Oh, here he comes. Okay.
Many of you are patients of Dr. Dan Hawks. Right now. Yeah. So you may recognize him in his outfit or not. Doctor, we appreciate you coming this morning. He will be at the March 17th St. Patrick's Day event at the Wild Game. We'll be raising money for St. Baldrick's. As you've heard me mention before, this is a program that I've been involved with. This is my 16th year, and it's pretty easy to do it when you know that 1 in 163 kids in the United States will be diagnosed with cancer by the time they're 20. And out of those, 1 in 5 will not survive. So if you think of the numbers in reality, at the high school, you get about 900 kids. And every year there's going to be 3 or 4 kids that will be diagnosed with cancer by the time they're 20 years old. So it's easy to do that. Is Matt Durr here? Oh, Matt, sorry, I didn't see you. Matt and I are going to be shading on the 17th of March. And Matt, you want to share what other exciting news you got?
Oh, yeah, my 11-year-old joined us. $200.
Thank you for that. It's always great when kids get involved too. My grandsons did it one year, and you see them bald because they chose to be bald. But when you see when you well, yeah, as I joked before, Fitzy shaved one year and it never grew back. So, and I try to get Todd to do it. Todd said he'll do it one of these years, and I'll still be involved. But I talked to St. Baldrick's last week, and nationwide we're down significantly with donations. So it's important for people like us and Matt and his son Max, to shave every year. We used to raise about $35 million a year. They're forecasting 25 this year. That's how much donations, and that's just for St. Baldrick's. The donations for any nonprofit is down in a big way. But you can help out two ways, either by donation or come by March 17th to the Wild Game from 4 to 6 p.m. The Wild Game has been generous enough to host the event, but part of the net proceeds from food that night, they're donating back to St. Baldrick's. So I really appreciate that from the Wild Game. And any Guinness beer drinkers here? Guinness is sponsoring the event as well. And so if you come by, even if for just a Guinness, Guinness will be donating back some of the net proceeds to St. Baldrick's that night as well. But we've got some great Irish dishes there that night. We'll have Irish music playing. Dr. Hawk will be there to play a little bit. Some exciting news as of earlier this week. The Lieutenant Governor of Colorado is going to pay us a visit as well. And yesterday, I got some really exciting news. Jake Cantor, anybody heard the name? The Olympian, him and his dad and I are working on a program that would help raise money for St. Baldrick's. And we hope to be calling it a day on the mountain with Jake. And probably won't happen this ski season, but it's something that would do like a register to win, type of thing. And Jake, would spend a day with the kids out on the mountain. And it could be cancer kids. I don't know yet. He came up with the idea, and I thought, what a great idea. Hopefully we'll have some more information on that. Alan, I want to play a little video.
Perfect.
All right, awesome. We got a little video, maybe 45 seconds or so on St. Baldrick's. But
47 seconds, don't lie.
But this is like an old joke, and I've said this before. 3 college grads walk into a bar. Well, this happened to be 1999 when 3 Stanford grads were having beer on St. Patrick's Day, and hence the St. Patrick's Day connection. But one guy said to the other 2, they were thinking about, as businessmen, very successful businessmen, who like to raise money for children's cancer, and they came up with the idea, hey, the one guy said to the other 2, why don't you 2 shave your head? And we'll see what kind of money we can raise. Well, the goal was 17 shavees. And they thought, well, let's try to raise 20 grand. They raised $104,000. And they thought, okay, we're on to something with this. This was 1999. The foundation got off the ground in 2005. And since 2005, they've donated back to researchers over $369 million. So that's why we do this. Play the videos. Thank you, everybody.
Also things on your table too.
Just two more quick things. Jenny Fulton is here with the Clear Creek County Sheriff Department. And Clear Creek County Sheriff Department has a team, and they're raising money as well. And Jenny, we appreciate you being involved this year. Thank you for coming this morning. And another guy, beside Matt's team, my team, we've got Mark Condigiani. I don't know if any of you know him. He's a retired firefighter here in Evergreen. He has a team going as well. So if you go to stbaldricks.org and care to donate to any of the team, Jenny's team, my team, Matt's team, stbaldricks.org, upper left-hand corner, just type in Evergreen and all the information will come up.
Jenny, are you shaving your head?
I decline. You have four of our guys that are shaking their heads. And I brought some flyers with our QR code if you want to donate to the Clear Creek Sheriff's team. All the money goes to St. Baldrick's. There's some flyers here and help support our team. We're trying to raise $1,500. This is our first year, and we're at about 500 right now. So we're a third of the way to our goal. We will be at the next 27.
Awesome. Thank you so much. This sounds fun. I hope to see you guys there. I think it's a fun event, and I don't know who gets to shave your heads. Is that a donation too? Like you have a paddle raise to see who shaved your head?
It's anybody can shave. It's just showing solidarity to the kids who have lost their hair.
Yeah. No, who shaves it?
Sport Clips actually is the national sponsor.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, thank you. All right, happy bugs. Sorry guys, I don't have slides now. I'm just winging it. Okay, who has happy bugs? Let's remember it goes to our lucky luau.
Couple over here.
Sorry, Tom.
You do.
Well, I'm glad to hear that Tom Johnson was not hurt bad in that accident down at the corner. So there's $20. Thank you.
Nice. Well, I'm happy because I had flights booked at Puerto Vallarta on Saturday, and I was able to rearrange. I'll take some of that money you saved. Yeah, I saved a lot of money. I needed my area. Oh, here you go.
Hello. I've got happy bucks for a couple things. First, thank you, Jen, for letting me her Rosie the Riveter stuff for when I went to my awards ceremony where I got an award from Alice. And then also we adopted kittens. And the dogs. Yes.
We need it
Yeah,
over
we're
here.
over
We're
here
just gonna share this. 'Cause this is-
I am incredibly grateful for participating in an amazing trip to Guatemala. And the Staggers, the Krigers, and the Nees did an amazing job organizing the trip. But the most touching thing was these girls from the indigenous population graduating from college, where you're sitting at the same table with their parents who never got past second grade, and the pride that those parents felt for their daughters, and what's going on down there is so impressive.
I just love the microphone.
I've got 5 happy bucks. Our son passed his flight instructor training test last week. And now he'll actually be making money instead of spending it on flight trains.
Anybody else over here? Way over there.
All right, thank you guys. Chris was actually going to do a little thing for the Lucky Luau, but obviously he is doing more meaningful work and helping with the accident. So just a little plug again for the Lucky Luau, which is March 13th. And we have a QR code if you want to buy your tickets that way. Jen will put the information in the minutes, but I hope to see you guys there. It'll be at the Elks Club. We just went the other day, laid it all out, and it'll be a really good time. Okay, general announcements. Don't everybody rush the stage. And we only have one microphone, so you're gonna have to share. Go ahead.
Morning. I just wanted to ask for help, and if you don't volunteer willingly, I might corner you and volunteer you. But the PR committee is looking for a couple extra people to help out. Jack is our incredible web guru, and Tim Grace, who many of you know, does all of our print ads and that type of thing. Lori is an incredible asset when it comes to creating flyers like the Lucky Luau poster. And I'm officially the chair, although I don't do a whole lot. I just kind of make sure nobody's encountering crises. But come July 1, I'm going to have some other responsibilities and not able to be as involved. So I would love to talk to anybody who's even mildly interested. I can teach you what needs to be done. Basically, it's posting to the club's social media once in a while when we have stuff going on. So if anybody's interested, please see me. And if not, I'll come find you.
Or if anybody has a 12-year-old that would like to be it. Hey, stranger.
Hi, I'm back. Good morning, everybody. My name is Gary McKay, and I organized the roadside cleanup that this club has been doing for 20 years on this trip out here basically between here and Walmart. And we're going to do that this year, this spring, on the Epic Day of Service, which is May 16th. So please mark that on your calendars. I'll send out emails soon about that just to remind you and all the details. But we get together about 8 or 9 in the morning, meet over there kind of by Walmart at the Country Day School, and then clean up that stretch of road. And so it's a good way to get outside. Thank you. Hope to see you then.
Thanks, Gary. Hi, I'm Steve Biziak. I'm here to tell you about a great event that is taking place at the Malt office this coming Wednesday. It's the Conservation Trends in the West speech. And again, it's at the Malt office from 9 o'clock in the morning until 10:30. And Lori Weigel, principal from the New Bridge Strategy, will have an inside look at findings from the 16th annual bipartisan Conservation of the West poll, which dips into Westerners' values and their views on climate change, public lands, water, wildlife, other important conservation issues. And it's all about, protecting nature and public lands, particularly in our Jefferson County area. And this is part of the Colorado College State of the Rockies Institute study. Again, it's 9 o'clock until 10:30 at the Malt office this coming Wednesday. It's going to be outstanding. And I understand coffee and donuts will be there as well. Thanks, Eric.
And if you haven't been to the Malt office, I was just there. It is beautiful.
It is.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey, it's chorale concert time again. March 3rd, March 14th and 15th, Saturday and Sunday. The 14th is down at Welshire. The 15th is up here at Rockland Church. It's a fabulous concert of 3 masses. One is Schubert, very traditional. One is Venezuelan, and one is jazz. So if you love choral music, if you love mass music, come. It's wonderful.
Thanks, Barb. All right, we're ready for our speaker. There you go.
Thank you. Good morning. I am kind of a rescuer, as probably a lot of us are. I rescued kids and animals and even my husband. He needed it the most. Yeah, you know that, Marcia. I adopted 2 horses, not knowing anything about horses. Really dumb, but I love them. When the Elephant Butte fire happened, I needed someone to help me trailer my horses and get them out of there. I had a trailer, but no knowledge of how to actually get them in the trailer. So I called on Jeff Coheet. They immediately showed up. I get choked up even talking about them. They came and got my horses. They took them down to the fairgrounds. They took care of them. We got them back from my neighbors, Dan and Beth Lincoln. I'm sure a lot of people know them. They're like big horse people in town. So they were so helpful. Well, then I ended up with just one horse because it died, whatever, and I was trying to get out of this cycle of rescuing horses. You know, one dies and you have to get another one. And so I boarded my horse at a place that I thought was very safe. Well, I was wrong. My horse wasn't in danger, but the people were just evil. They've tried to like steal people's horses. They won't let you get their horses. I had such a hard time trying to get my horse out of there. They only give people 15 minutes to get their horses off the property, or they say, sorry, you're trespassing, get off. I was there one time where there were 5 sheriff deputies trying to help a couple get their 2 horses. The gentleman had actually shot and killed somebody who tried to get his property, but he got acquitted. Shouldn't have been, but anyway, so my horse was there. And I'm like, I got to get her out of there. Who do I call? This guy. He's my hero. He and Dan and Beth Lincoln, we almost did it covertly, unintentionally. It was the day of the really high winds. And the people who owned the place said, you can't come today because we're taking care of the horses. Well, I'm like, no, we're going to be there. So we got there. I think they were still sleeping. And he got my horse out in like 10 minutes, loaded her up, got her out of there. I mean, this guy's amazing, his skill with horses. So he's my hero. And Jeff Coheed, you know, we talk about wildlife readiness. This is a big part of it. If you've got a big animal and you need to get it out of there, he's your guy. So I am very proud to introduce Scott Holliday, and here he is.
Good morning. Thank you for breakfast. Thank you for the invite. It's awesome to see this amount of people. I've seen you guys around. I did big chili cook-off. I was the traffic control master for many years, going back to when they had it at the lake house. So I've seen your van around, and I appreciate, and I know I only know a small portion of what you guys do, but thank you. A little history about myself. My father retired down in Denver in the late 60s. I moved up here to the Evergreen Conifer area in around 80. Oh God, let's see, there's so much, it's confusing, but I started volunteering, basically doing wildland fire. Got a job with State Forest Service, did that for a couple of seasons. Jefferson County opened up their fuels crew. So basically, they called me up and says, hey, can you run our fuels crew for us? I was like, oh, yeah, I guess. That lasted 8 years, got a new boss that him and I didn't see eye to eye. God said it was time for me to move on, so I did. We did a lot of great work, but one of the things that I wanted to do was start being able to do mitigation work for those who can't afford it. The price just continues to go up. The program basically tanked. I'd like to say it was because I left, but there was other issues. Sheriff Mink was an awesome supporter of wildland fire and what we did as far as the fuels crew. Again, I did fire up here for probably 20-25 years. I didn't want to stop doing it, but God had other plans for me. So in 2000, in the fires of 2000, I can't remember which one came first, Snaking, Schoonover, High Meadow. This was after the Buffalo Creek fire. Big columns of smoke in the air. At that time, we had 12 horses. And my wife was a barrel racing instructor for the Jeffco High School rodeo team. My daughter was just barely old enough to drive. And I called up the county and I said, hey, we got horse trailers, we got knowledge, what can we do to help? I'll go down to Deer Creek Elementary School and tie in with the animal control folks down there and go forth, do well. One thing led to another, and here we are 25 years later. I'm still doing it. It's the volunteer base stinks right now. COVID did a number on us. Nobody, we were basically unable to do meetings through the whole COVID period. The fire department, Inter Canyon Fire, would not allow us in their building, and understandable. And we just never recovered from that. A lot of kids in this new generation don't want to step up. And then us older folks are getting older that we can't run around chasing horses and getting them into a safe spot. We have moved over 3,000 and probably now closer to 5,000, over 5,000 animals during the wildland fires. When we first started doing this back in 2000, there was nothing in place. No, I mean, basically animal control would say, yeah, go canvass that neighborhood there, see what you find. So we did that, and then it was like, well, where do we take them? How do we document them? So we were taking, I don't even think cell phones were that big of a deal back then, but it was the Polaroid pictures, right? And document where we got the horses from. My daughter was riding with me, doing all the paperwork, and we ended up bringing a lot of the horses back to my place. We got 6 acres up there. And so we'd bring them back to there and document where they came from, where they went. My wife was taking care of them. And then they finally opened up the fairgrounds. Jefferson County Horse Council stepped up to do the work. And there was some hiccups in there trying to iron things out. I'd like to say that I played a large role in working with the animal control folks of Jefferson County, Carlos and Auntie, in trying to get things smoothed out so it would become a well-oiled machine. At that time in Jefferson County, we had the largest horse population per capita in the state of Colorado. As we all know now, that those numbers are dwindling. 4-H clubs are kind of going by the wayside, and it's unfortunate because all of this is good for the kids, and it's good for us adults too. I rode Harleys growing up, right, and doing horses. My sister was the equestrian. Doing what I'm doing today was the last thing on my mind. I never dreamt that I would be doing this. Again, one thing led to another. The county had at one time 3 different teams that would move the large animals. So basically what we would do, these different teams would go pick up the animals, document on forms that we now have in place, put rump tags on the horses to identify them, and we'd take them down to the fairgrounds, and the horse council would take over. They would feed them, water them, and again, we had some hiccups. Water down there is chlorinated, water up here isn't. The horses weren't drinking. Somebody came up with a brilliant idea, put Gatorade in there, solved the problem. So we're down to 2 teams now. The 3rd team, basically, again, a little bit older folks. Then they had some issues, command and control issues, and they basically stepped back. So there's 2 groups now that move the large animals. One of the things that's always been a pet peeve of mine, coming from the firefighter world and emergency management world, is the safety of the people that are transporting the animals. Nobody really knows we're out there at that time. So my folks and we still do it, we give them a basic wildland firefighter course. This doesn't make us wildland firefighters, but they have the wisdom to go, you know what, I know there's a horse out there, but maybe I shouldn't be here. Because you screw up once and you either injure yourself or you die, you can't help the other animals. So there's a real fine line there. But one of the things that we try to do is educate our folks. When I first started doing this, I lost a lot of members. No, you can't tell me what to do, blah, 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 you know. And the other team is based out of Foothills Fire. Their Front Range Animal Evac team. Great folks. There was a clash for a long time with people. They are now doing the training because the gal who basically runs it, her husband is the chief of Foothills Fire. So she knows the risk that we encounter during our rescue missions. When Evergreen Fire changed their radio system over, I, through the grace of God and some monies provided by ASPCA, bought their old radio system. Because again, you get off of the beaten path and cell phones don't work. So we have a repeated, it's basically the same type of radio system that the firefighters have. It's a repeated system. So I talk on the radio, goes up to the tower, comes back down to where everybody can hear it. Our tower, blessings to Elk Creek Fire Department, is on Conifer Mountain. We have basically an outstanding agreement with them to do that. So now the next goal is, and we're getting closer every year, is to make sure that every animal group, right now it's our team and the small animal group, have the radios to be able to communicate. But again, Front Range has their own system, the other large animal group, and we're trying to consolidate that, you know, to make it so we all talk, we all hear. If somebody's having a problem with an animal or somebody gets hurt, the response from the other animal folks is pretty much immediate. Whoever's closest can respond. And we don't only limit it to horses. That's our specialty. We do chickens, we do pigs. Try to stay away from the yaks because they are meaner than me. We have done them, but I would rather not. Buffalo, we don't touch. They're special people that have not only the knowledge and the wisdom to do that, but they have the trailers that can accommodate the buffalo. Buffalo can be just ornery. So we try to stay away, but we also try to help where we can as far as that goes. So that being said, most of our stuff revolves around wildland fire. Again, with my knowledge as a firefighter for many, many years, I fought fire for the county. I fought fire for the 285 team way back in the old days. For those who are been around long enough to know who they were the ones that had that bumper sticker, "Keep your butts in your car." You know, I inherited those. So when we do public safety things, I try to pass those out, try to sell them, but you know, I have a soft side. I sat on the Jefferson County Incident Management team for 15 years. Basically, I was a communications technician for them, but I also moved in the animal side and the logistics side. After I left the county, I'd like to say I got chased away, but bottom line is I think I was just tired. The new boss was an excuse for me to get out of there. I went to work for the federal government doing logistical supplies. We were based out of the Fed Center, and we were like the Walmart of fire supplies, everything from pants to meals ready to eat to fire hose to pumps, chainsaws, all of that. I started off as truck driver for them, went in and they asked me to become the supervisor for dispatching these trucks throughout the United States. Great time in my life. But here I come full circle back to doing the animals. Jennifer called me. She was in a bad way with the horse. I said, we'll get him out. She had scheduled the vet. The horse hadn't been in a trailer since I think you had brought him over. That's what we deal with on wildfires is the animals that people bring to their homes. Never seen a horse trailer again after that. So there's a lot of times when, again, I've used the trainings from a bunch of different trainers and I've adopted my own way. One of the things is I want that horse paying attention to me. So I'll generally have everybody just go away, leave me alone. Jennifer's horse loaded in, I think it was 10 minutes, 5
Well, we
minutes.
got her off the property in about 10 minutes.
Right.
And then got her across the street. And the Jehovah's Witness people helped us too. They brought out vests for us.
Yeah,
They were
yeah,
awesome. And
great
there was Mark
folks.
there. It was like this whole thing. And the owners didn't have a clue. It was awesome.
No.
So, but it was like a half hour, which is great for a horse that hadn't been loaded.
Yeah, by the time we got there, got the horse off the property, got it loaded up, and we're heading down the road. She had called the vet to tranquilize it. I used to do what we called trank and yank back in the old days when I first started doing this. So we give it the horse a little happy drug, and then they just kind of mosey on in the trailer. Somebody said, Scott, you got to watch out doing that because basically this old backyard nag will become a $50 million racehorse, and you killed it and you're liable for it. So we stopped doing that. I worked a lot more on my training of the animals, and the whole thing is, again, is I want the animal focused on me. I want the animal to know that it's safe, that we're getting it to safety, and I talk to it a lot. One of the most exciting moments through all of this, and there's been a bunch of them, was my daughter, again, just learning how to drive. We got a call from the sheriff's department at 2:00 in the morning. There were 5 horses down at the bottom of 126. There was sheriff's deputies down there. Well, I think it was 6 horses. We had a 4-horse trailer. We got 5 in. And my daughter is arguing with this deputy about who's going to ride the horse up 126. And this was down towards the bottom, And of course, the deputy won. He rode it bareback, following us with just a lead rope. And he rolled off of that horse, and his butt was just sore. He was like, I'm taking the rest of the day off. We had a great time. There's all kinds of emotions through all of this. Over 25 years, there has only been 1 horse that we haven't, my team has not been able to capture. It was my daughter and myself again. And it was a Mustang that had been dropped off. We couldn't even get close to it. Called animal control and says, hey, can't do it. We've got, just like the firefighters have a certain amount of time to protect your home, we have a certain amount of time to get that animal loaded and get it off to safety and come back for the next one. So, there was one great super neighbor that thought, oh man, fire, we got to get the neighbor's horse out of there. They hooked up a horse trailer, got the horse loaded, drove down, hit the bumps down there at Morrison on 470. The horse dropped through the floor and it had to be put down. That, in 25 years, over 5,000 horses moved, is the only mishap. That's a pretty good record, but it still stunk that happened. And not only, one of the things that we did is we got into doing horse rescue. So we get horses out of bad situations, whether it be wrapped around trees, caught in panels, caught in fences, other. We've assisted the state of Colorado, the state patrol, with the cattle trucks that roll over down in the Narrows on 285. We have also done cruelty cases where animal abuse cases, a lot of animals. We did one in southeast Colorado many years ago. The most recent was the horses up there in Summit County at the stable up there. We spent 3 days getting those horses out of a bad situation. You can't say anything during that time, and you got to curb your emotions. If you say anything, you blow the case, the person gets off, and 10 years down the road, they're doing the same thing. So, I think what we do is great. We're always looking for volunteers. If you guys know of anybody that knows how to handle horses, has a truck and trailer. I've got a couple extra trailers at home that have been donated to us. We're always looking for donations. I do have some brochures that were scattered around the table. You can reach us, jeffcoheat.org. And that's kind of what we do in a nutshell. I keep saying, no, my volunteer days are over and I just can't walk away from this. But anybody got any questions? Yes, ma'am.
You know, I grew up my own. And my horses too, and I just wonder, you talk about your communications, the background. Did you learn how to be a horse whisperer?
Yes.
I say no, but I'm humble. But evidently I'm doing something right because they do manage to get in the trailers. You know, but again, it's you gotta have them focus on you, the one that's loading. Anybody else?
I just want to have a comment that Scott did not trespass on the property because I had an email from about a month prior that said, oh no, Jeff Coheed, we're part of their evacuation team and they're where they can, whatever, put their horses. And so they're welcome on our property. He said, they're not part of it. They lied. Okay, I used that to get on the property. Ha.
Anybody else have any questions? We only have one mic, sorry.
What does HEAT stand for?
Oh.
I'm not familiar with it.
Jefferson County Horse Evacuation Assistance Team. Took us a long time to come up with that acronym.
I just want to say, I was with the small animal rescue. And we were in the Staples parking lot with you all during the Hayman fire. And this is an incredibly professional and responsible and compassionate group of people. So thank you for the work you do.
Jim is a huge part of it, as well as the small animal group. And we work together. We're willing to help each other out wherever we can.
Who else had a question? Oh, hold on.
How close to a fire have you been?
Probably again, when I was taking my daughter down, it was nighttime, so the fire was down a little bit, but you could see where the fire was burning along the side of the road and where the tankers had crossed the road, dropping slurry. Lower North Fork fire, Kester Road, we were actually, right after the flame front passed, we were able to get in there. And so again, if it's already burned, generally it's not going to burn again. But if you're ahead of the fire in this tall grass this time of year, you really got to watch your P's and Q's. And kudos to Jeffco and the fire management people and Carla Zananti, the director of animal control, for looking after us and saying, no, you got to wait. And we're chomping at the bit. We're ready to go. But my group, and again, the Front Range Animal Evac team, we have that knowledge, to say, no, I shouldn't be here. I'll wait. So we have been knee deep in fire.
What kind of experience do your volunteers need?
Primarily just able to handle a horse. But the biggest thing is the willingness to learn, especially for the younger folks. And I can say that now because I'm 63 years old, right? But we're willing to try to help, because by helping somebody learn how to handle an animal, it comes full circle back to helping the community. And that's what, as you guys well practice, that's what life is about. you know, and we're so distracted by this other crap. We're willing to teach. Again, talk to me afterwards, if need be, and we can go from there. We're willing to teach. We're willing to help, do what we need to do to make the Evergreen Conifer state of Colorado a better place.
Any other questions?
I talked to you briefly about the training that you offer, and you have other things besides going to help horses, but you have some training available if people want to help.
Yeah, and again, it's my wife, God bless her, she passed away 4 years ago. She used to oversee all of that stuff. So kudos to Dan and Beth Lincoln. Beth has stepped up to help me out with trying to manage things. But there is a place, it just, I've got to think about where we can get the best bang for our buck. And I'm not talking money wise, I'm talking what's going to make you feel good about what you're doing, what's going to benefit the group. Because bottom line, at the end of the day, if it benefits the group, if it benefits the animals, if it benefits you, it's going to benefit the community up here. And that, again, I never thought I'd be doing this. You know, and I just kind of fell into it. One thing led to another, and here we are. You know, so.
I did want to mention there are the flyers on each table, and on the back there is a wish list. You know, like he said, they're always looking for donations. So if you feel that that is something you would like to donate to, I'm assuming you don't want them to buy the items, you just want the money.
Correct. Because just like everything else, our needs change. So a lot of this was done back in the old days, and we have it updated. I had mentioned about the communication system. You know, it would be great to have us all on the same page. The county has worked, and the fire departments have worked very hard about getting a channel that they can all go to, you know, and be able to Evergreen talk with Intercanyon, talk to Golden, talk to, you know, whoever's responding on a fire. That is what my goal is and working towards. But again, me, one person doing, I'm a small-time logger up here, so I work a lot of Denver Mountain Parks property, and no, I didn't do anything with Old for Three Sisters. We're not quite that big. But you know, getting everybody on the same page would be huge, but it takes money. And again, COVID, the economy being what it is, lack of volunteers, you know, but again, when God says we need it, we'll get it.
All right, well, thank you so much.
Hey, one more thing.
Sure.
I would shave my head, but I started growing this ponytail when I quit drinking and drugging, which has been over 40 years. There's been some trimming that goes on. So if I did that, then I couldn't help anybody at all. But appreciate what you guys do. Again, thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate what you do. Thank you. And Rotary is still trying to eradicate polio, so we will donate 60 vials of the vaccine in your name for being here today.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Chris, do you want to come on up?
All right. Good morning, everybody. I got my Hawaiian shirt on because I was supposed to talk about the Lucky Luau and all that great stuff. But our morning started out with Tom having a significant accident. He's doing okay. We transported him for evaluation, but it was a pretty significant accident. So just keeping your thoughts, like he should be fine from everything I saw. But yeah, so that's how we started out our morning here today. So
well, thank you for being there.
Yes. Sorry, missed it.
Yeah.
And I brought the burritos, so
Yeah. All right. Okay, you guys, let's keep Tom in our thoughts, and everybody go out, make it a good day, unite for good.